Right, here's one for your Honda Civic fans. I've tried to video this a few times, but every time I try, someone interrupts me or something gets in the way. So I'm going to make a start on it now. This is for the fuel filter. Very easy on the Honda Civic. It's not, you don't have to go underneath the car. It's on the bulkhead. Right here. This is it. It's more like a diesel filter canister, to be honest, but it's definitely for a petrol one. So first things first, really got to depressurize the system on these Honda. I know there's a lot of different ways of doing it, and I'm not sure I'm going to get battered for this, but the way I do it, this is what's in the book as well. So the way I do it is I just go to the fuel filler cap. So I'll just go around, pull up, which is here, fuel filter, go around to it. Here we are. All I'm going to do is this. And you can hear the air. That's depressurizing the system. You're still going to get fuel there, but it's not going to spray all over you. So we go back to it. So basically, what you're going to need before we start doing it, what you're going to need, it's got a banjo bolt here, and you're going to need a flare wrench for under here. Don't mess this up. If you're not sure, don't do it. There's two ways of getting it out of here as well. You've got 3 bolts and 2 bolts and a nut there. We got, I think it's an 8mm bolt, which is here, which you've got to get from the other side. So once you've undone these two, got a flared wrench down here. Just see there. Make sure you do it towards you, untying it. Don't mess with it, because if you break it or you've rounded off, it's going to be a horrendous way. You're going to have to take it to a garage, probably get towed, and have it replaced. It's difficult. I mean, these pipes that go all the way down there to the fuel tank, and it's not going to be easy to replace. So if you're not sure, don't do it. But this is a flared wrench. So when you do that, you pull it towards you. You got a 17mm bolt here. Very easy to take off. Make sure you've got plenty of rags. Probably best to wait for the engine to be cold as well. Like anything to do with fuel, if you're working with fuel, be vigilant. No sparks, no cigarettes, no messing around. If you're not sure, leave it to a pro. But this is where we're at. So I'm going to show you what I've got to replace it with, a few part numbers and things like that, before we replace it. So this is what I've got. This is my fuel filter. I know there's a lot of these cars over in America and around Europe and places like that. So this is from Eurocar Parts. I don't think you have it in America, obviously, being Euro. So you have your American equivalent, but it is a Bosch. There's your part number. There's your other equivalents as well, which are very much good makes. Bosch is a good make. Went for this, it's good quality for a fairly cheap price. So there's a part number. So what you've got comes in a box. Obviously, before replacing anything, make sure it's like for like. There's your Bosch part number, made in Bulgaria. Nice. And that's what it comes like, nice and shiny. These things do tend to rust out after a couple of years though, but I think they're pretty solid. I don't think they're going to rust through unless you leave it on for the life of the car. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you've got your make sure you've got your washers. These are important. Don't use the ones you've got unless you're desperate, but I always recommend using fresh washers which come with a pack. Always use them. The big ones are for the banjo bolts at the top. I'm not sure what the small one's for, but we'll have a look when we fit it. Yeah, so that's it. This is what I've got. There's your part number for those of you who are across the Atlantic. Yeah, good quality one. Don't go for cheap. Lots of cheap versions out there. If you want to filter your fuel, make sure you do it properly. So now we're under the bonnet. I'm going to start taking it apart. What you're going to need is some rags as well. So get some rags right down there, because there's going to be a little bit of spillage. It's still going to dribble out even though you've took the pressure out of it. So hopefully this will catch some of the stuff. So while it's in situ, what I'll do is got my flare wrench, 14mm. I'm going to get it underneath. Just make sure you got it right. It's going to come towards you. So just going to pull it out. Oh, there you go. Let's loosen that. And then what you're going to need after that is got 19mm spinner, 17mm socket, and get your so you can get your spanner in there like that, because obviously you're going to hold it, and give it a bit of a, just loosen it off like that. That's it. And then the next bit is 10mm socket, and get underneath there and do them. Not on very tight. And then pull it away. So what's going to happen next is that that's going to come across, come out, undo your flare nut down here, undo this, keeping your 90mm spanner in there, and bring it all away. Just be careful when you bring it out. There'll be probably a bit of spillage, and there's a couple of washers in there as well to think about. So the next bit we're going to do is actually unscrew it all and bring it all out. Right, so here we are with the new one in. I've had to take out the 10mm bowl at the back, loosen it off. I've loosened it off here. I've took the bottom flare nut off using the flare wrench. That's come off easy enough, it's gone back in easy enough. So the next bit now is putting the 10mm bolt back in, and then putting the top stuff up, new washers, and putting the nuts back in there. So now it's all back in situ, it's all back put together. Very simple, that is. The only thing to do now is put this banjo bolt back in, but this is where your washers come in. So take that one out. Put that one in there, put that on there, put the other one underneath, and then just start it by hand, like that. And then just get your 70mm bolt, your socket, just tighten it up. Doesn't have to be too tight. And that's it. Pull your rags out, just wipe up any spillages. Just bear in mind, a few things to remember. Bear in mind, you're dealing with fuel here. Don't be smoking over it, don't be using anything that can cause a spark, don't be checking for spark, look for leaks, start it, take it out, come back, switch it off and have a look, see if there's anything dripping out or anything. Bear in mind that's a flare nut. If you break that, it's going to be a bad day. These are pretty straightforward. Put it in as you took it out. Take pictures along the way if need be. There are other videos out there, but this has probably took me 20 minutes overall. The only thing that's a pain in the bum is trying to get this back bolt out. Sometimes it might be better to take the whole thing out and do it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it really. Start the engine up, check for leaks, and off you go. My name's Drive-By DIY. Hopefully this helps you. Any issues, any problems, be constructive. Give us a subscribe or give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me why. Thanks for watching.